As he had mentioned earlier, the Jordan Business Awards would like to honor a pillar of professional services whose career has impacted Jordan, the region, and the entire world through a vast network of offices that has made the name synonymous with excellence and reliability. A businessman, philanthropist, a leader and innovator, whose pioneering work has been recognized by institutions ranging from WTO to the ICC, and also includes induction into the IP Hall of Fame. He was tasked by two Secretary Generals of the United Nations to chair more than 14 UN task forces and initiatives, in addition to being a UN World Trade Organization Special Ambassador. It gives me great pleasure and honor to welcome to the stage His Excellency Dr. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh, founder and chairman of Talal Abu-Ghazaleh Global, which operates out of 110 offices worldwide, providing professional and educational services to the global community.
مساء الخير. I'm instructed that I should address you in English, so I will try to do so. And you will have to put up with my English fluency at this evening. I heard statements about me which I don't deserve, but I thank Iyad Shadi, our president, our host. Thank you so much for giving me this honor to be in the presence of this august group of distinguished leaders. You are, all of you, senior to me and better than me and more knowledgeable than me. Yet, as Winston Churchill once said, the greatest lesson in life is to realize that idiots are sometimes right. So I want you to listen, I want you to hear some idiocies from this man who is talking to you. And you will forgive me for being an idiot. At 81 years, people start to become senile, بيخرفوا. فخليني اليوم أحكي كأني خرفان. لأني حابب أنتهز الفرصة because I am in the presence of such a distinguished group of leaders in government, in business, in media, in art, in everything. I want to send 5 messages. It's going to be very brief. Each message is less than 1 minute. First, yes, Mr. Shahade, you explained it very well, the process of change that is going in the business world, which is due to the emergence of the 4th industrial revolution. We are at the beginning of this revolution, which will change everything in our life, everything. Unlike the previous revolutions, the first and the second and the third, this revolution affects the human being himself. We will end up by having inferior human beings and superior human beings as a result of artificial intelligence. A person who has more memory capacity, who has more physical strength, who has a longer life, etc. And I was privileged to know about artificial intelligence 30 years ago on a panel discussion which I shared with Bill Gates. And I asked him, how do you define in few words this century? He said, artificial intelligence. Since then, I became addicted to the subject of artificial intelligence. and how it is going to affect everything in our life, our body, our brain, architecture, city design, everything. There isn't anything in this world which will not be affected. Therefore, excellence in the future depends, and competitiveness in the future depends on artificial intelligence. My second message is, again, something I learned as an old man. You know, old men have long memories. In 1985, I was privileged to attend a seminar at the National Science Academy in Washington. The theme of the session was, for 5 days, at which participants came from the business community, from the government, from universities, intelligence community, academic, etc. Every sector of the country was involved. And the theme was, where will America be, United States of America, in 2020? 3 conclusions after 5 days of debate. I spoke only once, and I spoke to express my surprise that the Middle East was not mentioned once, not at all. Oil was not mentioned. Nothing that we hear every day and we think that the US of America is concerned about was mentioned. There was only one word, China. That was in 85. And the first conclusion was, in 2020, China will be the superpower, economic power of the world. There is no question. And I think now we're not yet in 2020, but Fortune magazine announced parity between the US and China economically. Of course, United States of America is very concerned that China will be the leader in 2020. Second conclusion, if you are the super economic power, you are the superpower, full stop. There is no political, no military, no any other kind of power except for the economic superpower. Number 2. Number 3, the US has to do everything to stop that from happening, including any act that is needed. We have to stop it from happening. And that is why I issued a report, it's on our website, in which I claim that in 2020, the current trade war, which is now trade war, it used to be trade sanctions and trade frictions, now it's a trade war, will escalate into a real war. In fact, one of the strategic centers of the United States of America says Trump will manufacture a war in order to, he says, to bring China to the negotiation table. China is refusing to talk to the US of America on forging a new world order. The American establishment, and not Trump. Trump is only the representative of the establishment. The US believes that a new world order is needed. China doesn't believe so. The US believes, and I warned about 6 months ago, that the question of intellectual property, maybe because I am in this business, that the issue of intellectual property will be the most important cause for this war. Only last week, Donald Trump said that China stole our intellectual property rights in trillions of dollars, trillions. So he wants to claim compensation in trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars. This is my other message. So, but again, to close, with war and with crises come many good things. And I believe that as a result of this war, which is not intended to destroy America nor to destroy China, but to get them to talk. If you are not willing to talk to me, I force you to talk to me by creating a war act. We have to plan our lives on the basis of that. It may not happen, and I wish that it will not happen. But if it happens, we better prepare for it. And I think that what is going to happen is we're going to go into a better world, a new renaissance in the world, a new recovery, economic recovery, which will start in this part of the world because we are the most devastated part of the world and the most wealthy part of the world. So the recovery, global recovery, will come after 2020, and it will happen, and it will start in this region. Not because of us, but because of international needs. My next message is, in this changing world, we have to realize that there are needs that are different from the needs of the past. And therefore, we have to look into what will be needed. The most important thing in success, as many successful people say, is to have the advantage over the first comer. If you find a successful business, don't try to copy it. Try to do better than that. And in Jordan, as to use a simple example, and unfortunately in this country we love all, and I'm very critical. And as you know, I'm very, very much cursed in the media. I never heard of anybody who has been cursed in the media as much as myself. But I understand that, and I fully respect it. I don't have a problem with that. In this country, unfortunately, the mentality of anybody who makes $100,000 is to build a building, be it a compound or houses or whatever it is, on the understanding that by building this building, I can sit back home and collect the rent. As a result, we have this crisis in housing in this country. If you want to succeed, don't copy what is there. Do something which is better than what is there. And that is the advice of an old senile man. My last message is, yes, we are very proud to be in this country. And we are very proud with the leadership of this country. I think with the great wisdom of His Majesty, we are able to meet tonight in this wonderful setting and to enjoy the feeling of security and the feeling of comfort in this country. His Majesty told us that he wants to hear what he should hear and not what would please him to hear. Unfortunately, very few realize that a wise and a great leader, and I learned this some 50 years ago. I was talking to His Highness, Sheikh Khalifa, the Prime Minister of Bahrain, and I was being very critical of what is happening. And he looked at me, he said, Talal, you know, and I'm very honored that he's still the Prime Minister and he is there to hear me. He said, Talal, أنا بحبك لأنك بتقدرني. I like you because you make me feel uncomfortable. You تقدرني, you bring القدر, the unhappiness to me. Because what I want to hear is what I need to hear. And I want to hear I need to hear in order to be able to correct it if there is anything that should be remedied. We have to speak out. And we have to speak out as His Majesty King Abdullah Second, Hafidahullah wa adama majdahu. He told us, I want to hear what you want to say, but say it positively and constructively. It is not useful to be critical. It's not useful to be negative. It's useful to be constructively critical. Now, having said that, I want to close by, that is why I have been honored by His Majesty to be twice a senator. As of last week, I stopped being a senator. I resigned because of my respect for the law. I respect the law, and the same reason I resigned in the first time. But my service to this country, my service to His Majesty will remain intact. In fact, I think I can serve from outside the Senate and from outside any institution. I can serve better. We can always serve in any position we are. It's not only, as I said it once on one of the TV stations, it's not only the members of government, the parliament and the Senate that serve the country. Every one of you serves it better than me and is more important than me, because what you do in this country is recognized tonight. And I want to thank our host and our great friend for his kind words about me. And I want to say that I feel very humbled that I address you, because you all can address me better than I address you. But it's the kindness of Mr. Shahad. Iyad, thank you very much for giving me this honor, which I do not deserve, but I think I'm only an example of all of you, and a smaller example of all of you. I'm honored to be with you. Thank you very much for listening to me.
يعطيكم العافية جميعا. كنت بدي أسألك سؤال. أنت definitely أستاذنا وبنتعلم منك طبعا. أنا حاليا الهيد اوف اتش ار بمؤسسة ما رح أذكر إيش هي. You said something when you said constructive criticism. You criticized الحكومة definitely اللي عملت إجازة. What is the constructive concept behind that? Regarding إنه ليه نعمل إجازة while الإجازات كتير. خففوا إجازات عشان البلد تعمر. كيف؟
نصيحة عشان البلد تعمر.
Yes, definitely. You said constructive criticism. That was a criticism. وين البارت الconstructive فيه؟
I believe in two ways. Constructive means, first, it's not constructive to go on demonstration. And I know that I'm going tomorrow have 1 million curses on the social media because I said this. It's not productive. It's counterproductive to go on strike. It is only through dialogue and by proposing solutions that you can reach what you want to reach. And what I mean by constructive is when I have, that's what my approach in my group. If somebody comes to me with a problem, I say, do you have a solution to propose? If he says no, I said, come back to me with the problem and a proposed solution. I want to hear, and I think some of my colleagues here and will vouch to that. If it's not enough to complain. If you complain, you're right to complain. But okay, how do you want to what solution do you have?
بالعكس I'm not complaining. أنا بدي أقول لك the solution in that regard.
Exactly.
خلي الحكومة تعطينا إجازات ما عندنا مشكلة. بس in return خلي الشركات تطلب من الموظفين إنه يداوموا إذا حابين بس في يبقى something in return, whether in payment أو لا. خليهم يكونوا productive.
You're talking about our working hours.
Yes.
And
definitely.
about holidays.
Definitely.
I know, that's the famous
خلاص هاي
the famous curse on me.
Definitely.
Sitti, I have always learned in my life that when you work, you are the beneficiary. Because when you work, you earn experience, you earn knowledge, And the knowledge and experience you earn, wherever you go, it's there with you. No company, no government can take from you the experience and the knowledge that you earn. So it is for the interest of the employees and the interest of everybody, my young children or grandchildren, because at least 3 of my grandchildren are out of the university. So I can address the grandchildren of our country, my grandchildren. The way is to work so that you have a better career and a better future and a better salary.
يعني ثانك يو كثير لك، أنا بس حبيت أعطيك تشانس عشان تدافع عن كل الحكي اللي طلع. ثانك يو، يعطيك ألف عافية، شكرا.
Congratulations to all the winners. We wish you all a pleasant evening and hope to see you again next year.